Hi, everyone, and thank you to Suman for the great introduction. So, yeah, I've been attending React Nexus for 4 consecutive years, and this is my first year as a speaker. So, this is very exciting, and I'm super grateful to be here. So, today I'll be talking about from click to agent and building resilient AI features with Temporal and React. So, a little about me. I'm Aksa. I'm a software engineer at DigitalOcean. I call myself an open sourcer because I contribute to open source, and that's the most of it. I'm also a community manager at Google organization. And yeah, without further, let's get into the talk. So, what we will be talking about today is something that all of us have faced. All of us have. Okay. I hope you can hear me better. So, this is the scenario in front of us. You clicked generate on a button. So, the scenario is that we have a generate report, and when you click on the button and you see a loading spinner. So, 20 seconds have passed, then 40 seconds have passed, then a minute has passed, but you don't know what happened. Did the call go through? Did it make the AI call? Do you need to click on the button again? You don't know that. And we will never know if it worked or not. So what actually happens inside? When we're used to working with front end, we think of these AI calls as a simple API call. And what happens in a simple API call is you have a request that goes in and you get a response that comes out. And the thing with the API request is they may fail fast, and you see the response right in front of you. And even if it's stateless, it's fine. But things change when you talk about AI calls. So there's a prompt that needs to get generated. There's a tool call that has to be triggered, and there needs to be some validation that happens. And in the process, if there is any part of the AI call that might fail, then it has to retry that, and then you get the summary. So, and the thing with the AI calls is that they may fail, but they may fail very slowly. So by the time you get the result, half the work is already done and lost. The failure modes could be anything from it could retry from scratch. Your LLM summarizes fails at step 3 or 5, and the whole pipeline has to restart. So now you've paid twice for the same embedding call. You could have silent failures where fetch times out after 30 seconds, and the reason could be that your dot catch was empty. Your LLM might return a malformed response, and now the JSON parser throws an error. Then it could be state gets lost on refresh. We have all seen the popular meme where the developer open keeps the laptop open just to make their agent running. So in case if developer closes the laptop, then that call is gone. And a user might open the app on their phone, and then the call that they made on their desktop app when they logged in might get lost. So there needs to be a mental model shift. We need to stop thinking about this in terms of an API call and start thinking of AI agent in terms of workflows. And with workflows, you do not forgive and forget. You keep managing them and you observe them. So, this is a shift in architectural thinking that doesn't need a lot of typical state management or error handling that we are used to in general. So, what does a workflow give you? It gives you durability, so your state survives timeouts, restart. It also retries with context, so only the failed workflow returns and not the whole chain. And the best thing about this is observability. When we're used to working with front end, we don't care about observability as much. But when it comes to AI agents, we have to. So every step will have a name, a status, and a timestamp that can help you look into your logs and why a front end call might have failed. And when we talk about front end, the biggest hero in the game is temporal. So what I have in front of me is a small snippet of a React code, and this is as simple as it gets. So you have three activities. you can fetch the data, you enrich it with AI, and then you generate a report. If activity 2 fails, temporal retries it automatically and activity 2 only. Activity 1 does not happen twice when we are running the same workflow. So how do you model this? So in general, you would have the user click, make the API call, and then you're done. But how you would change your architecture in front end would be the user would click, that would trigger the workflow, and then you frame your workflow as three activities. One would be fetching the data, then calling the LLM, then formatting the output that LLM gives you, because LLMs are not always the most structured. And then you show that on the UI. So the React side, it helps you to stop guessing and start reflecting on what is going on in your app. So if previously this was how it was happening, after you have an architecture and you have a look into the backend without actually caring about what you are writing in the backend, but you know what all is happening. So how the React app connects to this? This is super simple. You post to the temporal API. The temporal API in turns return a workflow ID to you. This workflow ID you can use to poll to see what step the workflow is at. So there is no complex state management or any WebSockets involved. You just have to poll every time to see what is happening with the workflow. If user refreshes the page also, you have the workflow ID that will give you the last workflow that was working. And to show how all of this is actually in practice, let us look at this simple demo. So I have taken the same example of generating a report. So I will type whatever I want to. So I'm checking effect of weather on education, and I'll click generate report. You will see how the UX is changing here. So here's a little terminal. We don't need to get afraid of it. So activity 1 is done, but activity 2 times out. So without going back to activity 1, it retries activity 2 as many times as it needs. And once it starts the analysis and it completes it, and you can see how we've structured the front end, you can see what is happening at that point. And once it gets done, it completes the activity 3 and you have the output in front of you, the UI. And to show that we don't really have to look at the backend, we also get a really nice UI from Temporal that shows what activity run at one time. So we have multiple workflows. This was the one that I ran just now. And when we click on it, we can see the workflow type, workflow ID, when it started, when it ended. So the activities I ran were really quick, but AI calls take 2 hours and you don't know what happened. So at any point in time, you can see at which activity your workflow is at, and you get the timestamps for everything. So even in case something fails, you have a foolproof plan of what to do and where exactly this happened. And Temporal takes care of all of the errors, all of the failures. You just have to work on writing the workflow and writing the activity and structuring it in the way that Temporal can handle it. So a really cool thing, Temporal wasn't built for AI, but we can say that AI found Temporal. It started in 2020 for Uber, and it was built for durable workflows for microservices. But when LLMs went mainstream, API calls needed chain, and Temporal came in. And in 2025, it has become the de facto agent orchestrated system. And yeah, that covers most of what I wanted to talk about. I hope you got something helpful from this and you might try this out. So this is my LinkedIn. You can connect me over there. And I'm also known as Aksa Codes over other social media platform. On the bottom, we have the Google community newsletter where we share about AI news and any cool events that are happening. And I love to talk about LLMs and AI and React. So I would love to chat with you further about this. Thank you so much.